In this week's video, we have new details on the release for Sim Update 13, including a new wish list and some features we may see in the new Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 sim. We'll cover all of that, including this week's big weeks of announcements and release news. So let's not waste any more time and jump into the video. Kicking off this week's previews and announcements, and the first one goes to SimWorks Studios as they preview its next aircraft, which is the Vans 8. The team is known for this series of aircraft as they know it well, as they already released the RV10 and the RV14, and now the team is developing the RV8. The team mentioned the RV8 will feature two cockpit configurations. One's going to be analog and the other one will have a G3X in it. The RV8 sounds have been recorded from the real aircraft as well. No details from the team about a full feature list or release date at this stage, but stay tuned and we'll keep you updated. But you pretty much should go off what they've released in the past, and that's sort of the style I think they're going to aim for. SimWorks also mentioned the team is looking for real-world TBM 850, 910 and 960 pilots to help them with the development and testing of their pending in development TBM 850. The team has left us with some screenshots of its development RV10 and also the pending PC12 that we should see soon as well. During this year's Flight Sim Expo, Fastcal Productions announced their latest project, which is officially licensed versions of the Kakaria 8 helicopter. Hopefully I said that correctly. This week the team released a teaser/promo video of what they've done so far. Following the agreement from the manufacturer of the helicopter, the team aims to create a real faithful representation of this helicopter. The Kakaria 8 features two engines. One's going to be a Rotax 915 IS and the other one is going to be the more powerful. No more details from the team other than what we've seen in the trailer, but we'll keep you posted if we hear anything new. Azul Poly announced their next aircraft. Recently, the team released the C-160 Transall, and now the team switches over to the next aircraft, which is going to be the OV-10 Bronco. The team announced the Bronco briefly over on their Facebook page this week. Azul Poly mentioned this in the same announcement. Even though their work has started on the Bronco, the team is still working on the next update for the Transall, so don't need to worry about that. No update when we'll see the Bronco in the sim. From the looks of it, it appears to be many development days ahead. Looks pretty early from what we can see. Bluebird Simulations has updated us on their current projects, including the 757, the 767, and an all-new mystery aircraft. The team recently released a new website which includes a bunch of Q&A questions about the project of the 757. Bluebird is still pushing to have a release of the 757 out before the end of the year, but it may slip back to the start of 2024, just in case they encounter some delays. The aircraft is in a very early alpha and it's been tested by the Just Flight team and their own team. They did mention that their own team is now expanded, started at 4 and now they've expanded to 9 full-time workers. On the update, Bluebird mentions that the 757, once it's complete, will be an A to B aircraft, where the 767 will release as a more complex aircraft. They will still continue to update the 757 with new features and tech as they go along with some of the other releases. They did mention that, don't worry, we won't forget about the 757, we'll keep updating it. There was also a mention of another third aircraft, which is in the plans at this stage, but not currently being developed or worked on. The team did mention that they will be in a partnership with Just Flight team on this one. This could be the 747 Classic, as Just Flight did mention in a recent interview that the 747 will be a partnership product down the line. This is purely speculation on my behalf, but I'm just putting 2 and 2 together. If you like us and you're mad about flight simulations, why don't you hit that subscribe button and consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. I hereby subscribing may make that aircraft that you want to see in development get developed a little bit quicker into the simulator. Well, it can't help anyway, so thank you very much for your support. Moving on to this week's release news, and of course A2A have released one of the most anticipated GA aircraft to reach the sim, which is the Comanche. The Comanche features the A2A new AccuSim 2.0, which brings a brand new external aerodynamics model and more, which enhances the A2A aircraft to take on to its next level of realism. A2A have access to the aircraft, and being the owner and operator for the past 10 years, they know it really well, and the passion has reached across to the virtual version of the Comanche. The feature list is very long, and here's some of the highlights. Highly detailed 3D model inside and out, custom persistence of the aircraft, which includes wear and tear, interactive walk around, real-time load manager, advanced turbulence system, sophisticated airframe, vibration physics, dynamic ground physics featuring true weight, authentic fuel system, custom oil system, advanced engine starter, and custom sound set with over 1,000 sounds, custom integration with the Microsoft Flight Simulator GNS 430 and 530, along with the PMS 750 and the TDS 750XI. The EFB features tons of different options and data, and probably one of the best EFB I've ever seen. I've only scraped the surface. When it comes to the A2A Comanche, it truly sets the bar when it comes to higher level immersion from one package. You can pick up your copy of the A2A Comanche directly from their store. As always, I'll leave a link in the description below. Thank you to Simbit World Pilots Life Chapter 2 for sponsoring this video. A Pilot's Life Chapter 2 simulates the career of a commercial airline pilot by generating your schedules, tracking your scores for your flights, and rewarding weekly according to your contract type and much more. Pilot's Life provides a reason to fly in the sim from A to B while improving your skills as an airliner pilot, and depending on how good your scores are, you can progress throughout your airliner career to higher tier airliners and purchase more aircraft license. With over 575 airliners and over 280,000 real up-to-date routes, each flight and contract will have you experience the virtual airliner career globally, living a pilot's life. A pilot's life will work across all types of flight sim platforms, including a Microsoft Flight Simulator, X-Plane, P3D, and even FSX. Links in the description where you can pick up your copy of Pilot's Life, and we thank them for sponsoring this video. Moving on to our next release, and this one's from the team over FSS Formosa. Hopefully I said that correctly. This is the first time we've mentioned one of their products on the channel, but they have released their latest aircraft, which is Pangahu Airport. Pangahu Airport is located in the middle of Taiwan Strait, and it's a joint military/civilian airport that serves a gateway to the Pangahu Islands. I know I'm probably butchering that, but I'm giving it my best shot when I'm doing the names of these different types of airports. Features included in the package is custom buildings, landscapes, ground service vehicles, roads and objects, and animated lighthouse. Has custom taxi signs, full PBR textures have been used throughout, custom landmarks for different scenic spots of the local area, and it's optimized for performance. You can pick up your copy of FS Formosa's Pangahu Airport directly from the Sim Market store. I'll leave a link in the description below. And in another aircraft release for the week, this one goes to DC Designs. They've released their latest aircraft, which is the F4 Phantom. The team originally announced the F4 Phantom as a project back in April 2022, I believe, and now it's been released. The release includes 3 different models of the F4 Phantom, including the F4 Phantom E, the F4 Phantom J, and also the FGR.2. Each 3 different models have been replicated with their own unique features and performance characteristics. The F4 Phantom is known for its speed, versatility, and served in numerous roles, including reconnaissance, a fighter bomber, and interceptor. Features included in the package is a high detailed 3D model, fully animated instruments and controls. Aircraft systems include fuel, hydraulics, thermal, autopilot, and navigation systems. Engine sounds have been recorded from the real G79 engines, and it has realistic, accurate flight dynamics. Many liveries for all the 3 variants of the Phantom have been included, and you can pick up your copy of DC Designs F4 directly from the InSim Marketplace store. Obviously, there's no links. You'll need to jump in the sim for that one, and it is available on PC and Xbox. Moving on to this week's sim update news, and we have a ton of it. This week the Microsoft team has updated us on some of their aircraft releases. The ATR, the Model 631, and also the Ford AT4 have received some updates. We're expecting to see some updates from the team during the week in the community flying event, where they have some pre-recorded announcements, because a bunch of the team are on holidays at the moment. Purely speculation, my point of view, but I think we'll get an announcement on the next world update, because that should be out very, very soon. Speaking of the updates, Sim Update 13, this is the second sim update of the year, which is scheduled to release on the 21st of September. This week we've had some updates on a few things that will be included in the Sim Update 13. Piston engine update will be one of the ones that have been tackled by the working title team. They are updating the piston engine model in the simulator. Logbook, which is an issue that needs to be fixed, where the logbook reaches its maximum amount of entries. That's going to be fixed in Sim Update 13. Canada and Germany updates have been fixed when it comes to cities. The team is working on fixing the cities from previous world updates, and we'll see these in Sim Update 13. Germany and Canada should make it, but they hope to have some of the USA cities, but it may be a bit of a stretch at the moment. A bunch of aircraft fixes will be in Sim Update 13 as well, or maybe I should say aircraft updates, which will be the A310, the Wright Flyer, the Spirit of St. Louis, the Grumman Goose, and also the Spruce Goose. We're all going to see updates for Sim Update 13. There's been no real features mentioned so far when it comes to Sim Update 13 other than the piston engine update, but of course we'll keep you posted, and we probably will hear some more news when it comes a little bit closer to September. This week we have an updated wishlist, which is the first one since the announcement of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. This wishlist gives us a pretty good understanding of some of the features or updates we'll see in the new 2024 sim, as items scheduled for Planner most likely are going to be developed for the new sim. Here's some of the highlights. Share cockpit / multiplayer is set to plan. Aircraft specific control profiles are set to plan. Seasons is planned. Northern Lights is planned. Doors are open for aircraft are planned, and power lines, antennas, and gondolas are also set to plan as well. Some of these features we've just mentioned we have already seen in some of the teaser videos. There's also a bunch of other features under investigation on the wish list that we may or may not see. I've only mentioned the features that we have some sort of commitment to them from the Microsoft team. Moving on to this week's backlog list, and we're seeing a total of 247 products on the backlog list, which is down by 20 from last week. Aircrafts are up by 4 with a total of 11 aircraft on the priority 1 list. Missions are up by 4 as well. The sceneries are down by 18, liveries are holding steady at 40, and the airports are up by 3, and everything else gets thrown into the other section, which is down by 13. DC Designs did mention it only took them 8 days to get the F4 Phantom from a submission to a release on the marketplace. So not sure why there's so many aircraft being added to the priority 1 category when we don't see that many aircraft releasing on the marketplace. So not too sure there. And speaking of the marketplace, let's move to the marketplace releases for the week. We've got 3 new aircraft releases. The first one is from the team over at Shrike, which is aka Milviz with the 530 F helicopter, which is new to PC. Cockspur released the A22 Foxbat, which is new to PC. And Captain Sim with another version of the 767. I think this is a freighter version. It's also available on PC and Xbox. Other highlights this week when it comes to marketplace releases, PMDG have released their livery packs for the 737, 700 and 800 have now been released. Other products that are made up of this week's marketplace is 10 night lighting packs, 6 livery packs, 10 airports, and Seafront Simulations have released their Azores Vessels pack as well. And